Well, that's that little picture or cartoon. It's really not meant to be funny, but just being in the military is inherently dangerous. Yeah. You're around heavy equipment. You're around munitions. You're around aircraft of all types, ships and boats. And let me tell you, with my time in the Navy, I saw it all. And I saw people hurt. I saw people that died. Some of it was war, and some of it was just stuff happens and stupidity. It happens. So, what I'm going to talk about tonight, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. The things I saw today, if you saw Rubio giving his meeting with the media, he told them 5 times at least. They kept asking the same questions. He kept telling them, here's our mission. We're going to get rid of the nukes. We're going to get rid of the ballistic missiles. We're going to make it where they can't do this anymore, to the point where they will overwhelm the whole region and further. Oh, and if, by the way, that this regime is toppled and the people of Iran take control, we're all for it. If it happens, if it doesn't, well, we'll have to deal with it. But they're not going to have all these sophisticated weapons that reach further and further and further. What we're talking about here is common sense. Because already they got ballistic missiles that will reach Europe. And I don't understand why people don't get it. They've been at war with us for frickin' 47 years. And 37 years under that Ayatollah that we just got rid of. It's incredible. It's incredible that people, well, first of all these people, Democrats included, all these people, all this stuff that goes on, all these people that decide they're going to side with the enemy. It is fanning hate. The mullahs, the Ayatollah, all these people were all about hate. They hate Christians. They hate Israel. They hate America. They hate. They hate anybody that's not part of their clan. Anyway, a Muslim. We're the infidels. And we got people right now, including Democrats and some Republicans, that are trying to undermine the president. That's what they're trying to do. They're absolutely rooting for the enemy. And we have big billionaires like Soros funding it. It's hate. It's hate. And I can tell you one thing right now, until they start dealing with these mullahs and these mullahs in Iran, and let me tell you, there's a good portion of the Iranian people want to get hold of them. The mullahs, the IRGC, all of them. Now, they really wanted to capture the Ayatollah Asahollah so they could put him on trial. But we took care of that execution and many more. And there's going to be more. Unless somehow the Congress or the Senate finds a way to pitch a lifeline to the enemy. Unbelievable, everybody. Unbelievable. And I say hi to Lisa Lee and Carrie Vanguard, Danny Howell, Lane Splitter. Oh, yeah. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. If you got input, you want to chime in on this, hey, you're right there on the chat. You can ask any question you want or comment. But now, I don't know what happened to Will Kane, but he's another one today that was pushing that narrative. What's the mission? What's the mission? Talking to General Kane, I think it is. Now, Keene is his name. Trying to patronize him. He told Will, he said, don't patronize me. After he explained what this was all about and what the mission was. But he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Is Will Kane turning in to some of these other lunatics? People that we used to think were right-wing, that all of a sudden now they're left-wingers and they hate Trump. Tucker Carlson comes to mind. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's common sense what's going on and why we're there. And that's the truth of it. You know, what we got going on, let me see, up here, that's Tel Aviv, and it's been pretty quiet. I've been watching that for a while, and I've also got another deal I can bring up where it has multiple places. But it seems like it's pretty quiet right now. So there are different numbers out there about how many missiles have been launched. But let me tell you, the people that are in charge now of the IRGC, the people that are launching all the rockets and missiles and stuff and drones, they're launching at the other Middle Eastern countries like Qatar, like and Dubai of all things, you know. But I suspect that Dubai for decades now, and let me tell you that place is beautiful. I've never been there, but I see it all the time. They advertise it, people going there for vacations and stuff. The tallest building in the world is there, and they're building another one. But they're shooting their missiles and drones at them, at Qatar, at Kuwait. The list runs on and on. Now the thinking is they did that so that those countries would push pressure back on Trump to cut this stuff short. But that's not what's happening. Oh no, they're joining their side. They want in on the fight. They want they're on our side. They want in on the fight. They're pissed because they're taking pot shots at them. So now we can use their bases and stuff. All that is flip-flopped. The only country out there that's not really on board is the UK. And why is that? Because they're scared of all the freaking people they've let into there, just like we should be, thanks to Joe Biden and all the people he brought in here, and this lunatic down in Austin that was wearing a hoodie that said, I'm the property of Allah, walking around. It's a good thing the police were nearby, otherwise there would have been other massacres. It'd be a lot larger. This is the reason we said it the other night, hey, if you got a license to carry, you better be carrying. You don't know what and when is going to happen. And we got big events coming here in Arlington and other places around the country. But then you understand, too, that the boy mayor up in New York, well, he sided with Iran. Oh, yeah. Well, all these people up in New York, all these former Iranians that are dancing in the streets because the Ayatollah's gone, the boy mayor says, hey, our attack on Iran is illegitimate. Bullshit. The whole thing's crazy. And Lisa Lee says, hi, Papa. I just heard about Putin's house. What happened? Any idea? I hadn't heard that. I'd been tuned in on other stuff like stupid Will Kane. And he is. You know, I've kind of felt that he's had left-wing leanings every once in a while, and tonight proved it to me. So there was no reason that he couldn't figure out why we're there and why we're taking it to him. And General Keane told him, write down the list of all the places, all the times, all the stuff that happened, one by one by one. I'll get that list of all the places where they murdered American citizens, either through their proxies or whatever else. They're the cause of all this shit and hate. Them and the mullahs that teach hate to children. Oh, and I guess now they're teaching hate to kids in the college that are too stupid to figure it out. They're believing they're nutty professors. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. What the hell? We stole that from the veteran biker. But I want to bring up one other thing, and I've got a bitch about it. Oh, thanks. I caught a quick clip before the... okay, she saw it on a quick clip. Some deal about... I imagine they bombed Putin's house again. Again. That's happened before. Although he owns several houses all over the place. Probably owns one in our country. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, you sit there, the media and everything, you know, probably the best people to listen to if you want to listen to what's going on over in the Mideast would be Tusi TV. It's TOUSI, Tusi TV, and GBN. That's pretty good. It's a Christian broadcasting place out of Israel, and yeah, and of course there's the TBN. I think it is. I think that's what it is. Anyway, with these guys are reporters, and the guy on Fox News in the mornings, he's in Israel right now. I think his name is Yancey or something like that. He is good, and he tells the truth. He explains it, tells the truth. And Pinto, yeah, he's good. He gives you the truth, and he gives you the facts, and no bullshit. Common sense, which were a lot of people around the world is lacking common sense. Now, if you look up there at that picture, it is dawn. They're about 8 to 10 hours ahead of us. So it's dawn there now. So it's coming up. I'll show you a bigger picture here real quick. And let's take a look at it. If I see any missiles flying, I'll go to this. How I know that it's a not live is when I don't see traffic moving, or every once in a while there is a motorcycle that goes by. Harley Davidson, I think it is too. Yeah. It's incredible. So yeah, I can jack with that for a minute and make sure let me see. Let me do a couple things here real quick. Let's do this one. Oh, damn, alligator. Beating the hell out of it, too. Man. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Let me see. Let's switch. Let me see if I can get rid of some of that stuff. Here we go. All right. Let's switch it over. There's Tel Aviv. Now, this is live here. You can see sunlight. Beirut is still dark. Tehran is offline. They don't want you seeing anything. And of course, down there in South Israel, you see the lights flickering. And also in Beirut, you can see lights. Now, last night I was kind of mesmerized by it all, and I watched it a lot. So, and my screen freezes. I'm back here where I can read the chat again. And Carrie Vanguard said, like and subscribe. You're so right. Because now there's no telling when we will come on. We're not on a set schedule right now. I'm still talking to OG about this, what we're going to do with this channel. A few nights ago, I broadcasted, and this is a broadcast. I'm in the studio. So we use it through YouTube. So we, long before Tusi TV, when he says every time he signs off, we are the media, we were a long way ahead of him back in 2010 when we were in I was president of the Tea Party. Me and a guy named Rick Rose, we had a show that was called WBTM, We Become the Media. And Rick was a Green Beret, and he had some hair-raising stories to tell. And he was something else. We went to Washington, D.C. with a 100-foot-long banner that 17,000 people we had out here at the Air Hog Stadium in Grand Prairie. We had about 17,000 signatures on that banner. And we took it to Washington, D.C. to kind of show it off. The Republican Party. While I was there, I got a call from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Well, Mel, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? I said, well, because nobody invited me from the Democrat side. Go figure. That guy called me about that. I'm trying to remember his name. He's still working at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram as a reporter. He's a freaking idiot, too. But, you guys, what's on your mind? Now, Lisa Lee, you got me curious of what happened to Putin's house. But if we know what happened to the Ayatollah's house, whoa. So we heard today that the guy that they just announced as the new president, he's already gone. He hadn't been in power 3 hours before he was eliminated or illuminated. One or the other. Yeah. But, yeah, I could probably tell you about a whole bunch of stories about when I was in the service and people get hurt. We had a mic boat. If you don't know what that is, it's a landing craft that could carry a 6x or a tank or people, a whole bunch of people. And we pulled up on a beach. I think we were in Crete. And I dropped the ramp. I was a boat captain. I dropped the ramp on it, and we unloaded our load, and we got to... I started pulling the ramp up, and it started coming up, and it dropped. It just dropped. And my engineman was down in the lazarette where that cable was at, and it snapped, and it went right through the middle of his face. I mean, split his nose in half. It was a horrible sight. And he was a pretty big guy. And when he was stumbling around down there, and then I looked down in there and saw him, I lifted him out of that place by myself and started trying to get stuff to stop the bleeding. It was horrible. It was horrible. And he was transferred to a hospital, and he never came back. They came and got all his stuff, and I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's alive and well. Alive and well. Things happen in the military. It's not just war, but the war is a big part of it. And we all, and they told them today, the reporters they were talking to, this is not a forever war. Pete Hegseth told them, point blank, these media people are crazy, and they're looking for anything for controversy. Anything to undermine the president, our military, and yes, us. Anything. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for any of them. For any of them. And we'll keep pounding on them, and we'll keep pounding on the Democrats who are trying to undermine our military right now. And I'm not going to shut up about it. But I will. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to bring up. Here's the other thing. I was stationed in Little Creek, Virginia. And when we weren't at sea, we were there. That was our home port. Little did we know that they were pouring all this damn stuff. I have to get a list of it, and I'll bring it up another time because I'm going to keep bringing it up. They contaminated the whole base, and the crap got down into the underground water pool. And guess what we did when we were in port? We hooked up to the frickin' water there in Little Creek, and we would take on thousands of gallons of water. Now that water, we cooked with it. We made Kool-Aid with it. We made tea with it. We made coffee with it. We drank it as water. And it was contaminated. Now, I found out about this. This was in 1966. And I was there through 70. When we weren't deployed, and generally our deployments were either 5 to 6 months, and then maybe a month down to the Caribbean for R&R, and then we'd be back in Little Creek, taking on water, hooking it up again. But they said, I found out about this about 4 months ago. It's still contaminated. Listen to this, everybody. Listen to this. Oh, it's going to be cleaned up. Yeah, it's going to be cleaned up. By 2046, everybody. 2046. They just need $280 million more. That is freaking incredible. So, what do you think? They were poisoning us. Maybe that's the reason I've had cancer 4 frickin' times. Maybe that's the reason I had part of my tongue cut out. Maybe that's the reason I had cancer on my gum right here, where they took my teeth out to get at the cancer on the bone. When were they going to tell us about it? Maybe if we'd have known about it, maybe we'd have had some idea. Maybe there could have been something preventative. But here's the truth of it, everybody. Here's the truth of it. They don't know. They don't know what cancers this stuff put into our bodies, because it hangs around. It hangs around. It can hang around for decades. This is true. They know this. It's insanity. But it was the same way with Hensley Field here in Dallas. They contaminated the hell out of it. It's still contaminated. It's just been here in the last few years they've been able to do something with that property and get some businesses in there. It's insane, everybody. It's insane, but don't worry, we're going to have it cleaned up by 2046. Meanwhile, out there, they don't know how many people have died because of it. They don't. Or how many people have had cancer. I don't know that there's really any data on that. But you know what? They didn't tell us. They didn't inform us. They didn't warn us. when they discovered this in the 80s. Maybe it explains hypothyroidism, which I have. Maybe it explains all that stuff. Who knows? Because it does affect, they said, oh yeah, thyroid problems from those contaminated places. Oh, and guess what? Oh, on top of that, everybody, on top of that, when we went to pick up our complement of Marines, guess where we went to? Camp Lejeune. Yeah. And what we do there, when we pulled into the port to the dock, hooked up the contaminated water. Yeah. Thousands of gallons. Holy crap. Like I said, just being in the military is dangerous. Dangerous. But would I do it again? You bet, baby. You bet. Through the bad times, the good times, all of it. Even taking care of old equipment that was 25 years old. Not new stuff like they got today. We had to keep it running and working. Yeah. Everybody, I hope, I want to thank everybody. Lisa Lee, Carrie Vanguard. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, Danny Howell, Lane Splitter. Thank you guys today. We'll see you on the next one. I'll see you on the next one. I'm running out of steam. I got to go. I hadn't eaten since about 11. I need to go eat, I guess. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to. Bye-bye.